What are we coming back to? What have we been playing? Did we finish off ARMS? Yeah, we did that, eh? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, do we want to talk about Tome or not yet?
I don't think yet.
Yeah, I think I'll actually just hit the bumper and then we'll go straight into it.
Okay.
So are we? Just let me know when we're streaming, Jesse.
We're streaming.
Okay. And we're back. There you go. So I don't even know when we're going to release what we just did, but it's a secret.
Or we'll just say we just had an interview with Zoink Games. We'll interview it when we'll release it when they get closer to the game. But spoiler alert, it was awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And so also, by the way, welcome to everybody. If you're watching this on YouTube, whether live or otherwise, we're actually, because Jesse is here now, we're streaming. If you want to watch the first half where we talked about the news, we'll release that later. We'll do something. But yeah, anyways. So, Justin, you have not been here for a long time. What have you been playing other than Chase the Shamrock? I don't know.
Other than Move a Family and Chase the Shamrock? It's funny.
Excessively.
Kiss the Stone? What are
Yeah. It's actually funny. Taking a step back as we've been doing this. So it's been 8 weeks, I think, since I left the show to come back. Also, just want to say this to you lads. It has been fantastic for you guys.
Hang on. Did you just say lads?
I did, yeah.
You did.
It's been fantastic for the work that you guys have done over the last 8 weeks. Just amazing job, amazing show. You brought in great guests like Sean, Josh, Dave, Jacob last week. And I don't want to get
it's okay.
Emotional. I don't want to start crying. You can hear it in my voice. I'm starting to lose it, right? But I would say
I thought that was just because it was 4:30 in the morning when we started recording.
Yeah. For me, it was 3. Yeah. But what I would say there is when all of a sudden you kind of lose the people that you're connected with, right? Family, friends, and you move across the world, you feel very isolated or alone at times. And I will say, listening to you guys on the podcast every week, listening to, listening to Bobby's show, listening to the Mega Dad show, listening to everyone's show, these friends that we've created over 2.5 years has really helped me feel connected to people still, which has been really huge. I don't know if that makes any sense at all.
Absolutely.
But I cannot, probably express how much just listening to you guys talk every week has been a great help for me. So I appreciate that. So that's been really great. So we've moved the family. I want to kind of take a moment to, but I did. I want to shout out to you guys. Just amazing job. So, the challenge I would say is that since I have left, we have got more 1-star reviews. That I solely blame on the 3 of you, not me. And I'm hoping to right and re-steer the ship in the proper direction every once in a while. Zach, you had a question?
No, I was just going to say it's interesting from kind of, you being both an insider and an outsider. I've always been a firm believer, if we can sidetrack for 1 second about just the navel gazing or whatever, but the power of podcasting in a way that is almost completely different from any other kind of medium. Even I would even say compared to YouTube, I think that podcasting has this real, like a very personal side to it. You know what I mean? That there's a lot there, and so I don't know. That's really cool to know that was helpful to you, but also I mean I'm sure that's we hear that from listeners and stuff all the time too. So Yeah, it really has been, and I would also kind of say, now this is not what we've been playing, but more conversation about what's been going on. But even the amount of people, and it's interesting the support of the community that we've had, right? Of people who've reached out to me individually or via our Twitter account, my Twitter account, line chat, whatever, and it's been like, hey, how are you? How are the kids? How's the move going? Thank you so much for caring and for supporting us. It's been an incredible event. And we're so thankful for it. And then also just the amount of people, and it's interesting you talk about the community and what we do, right? Like every week we get on this device and we have a chat and we talk about garbage and nothing that's life altering critical, and just
this hobby that we have. But the amount of people who have also reached out and said, like, hey, man, I miss having you on the show. Or, man, it's, I can't wait for you to come back because you're not saying that you guys aren't doing a good job, but just part of.
Man, the show's gone downhill since you left.
Yeah, but just being part of their life in that way, right? Like, hey, I miss having you on the show because that's part of their group that kind of like ears the community. So that's been a really really incredible experience as well, and very humbling, I think, actually. So again, I don't want to spend an entire I'm sure we could do almost a separate podcast of just how things have been, but I did want to say that it's been really tremendous and glad to be back in on for right now. I don't know how many mornings I'll be getting up at 4 a.m. to do this. We'll see, but it's been definitely great. But what have I been playing? So I realized how much I loved the Switch as I began to pack my house up. Because as I get to a point of having to actually pack up bags and pack up all my TVs and everything and put them in storage and not ship them here, I was able to still have my Switch with me at all those points. So even when the kids were like, hey, we don't have a TV, we don't have a video game console, it's like, well, we do. We have the Switch, pop off some Joy-Cons, here you go, you're off to playing. So the Switch has been such a pivotal device for the move for us, actually, and what we've been doing. So it's been great. I would say that my playtime has not been as much as I would like potentially over the last 8 weeks based on the move. But what I have been playing has been Tumbleseed. And again, that was given to us for review. So thank you so much to the development team who did that. I thought I've been loving Tumbleseed.
How far have you gotten in the game? Like, what's your high score?
I have not gotten here's the thing. I have played a lot of it. I am not good at it.
Yeah.
So but I also don't get super frustrated. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to walk away now. But I have really been digging that. I love the aesthetic to it. It very much, what the Switch has reminded me recently, other than Breath of the Wild, is just the ability just to grab a game on a go really quickly, and that's it. And I look at my dashboard. I did pick up Graceful Explosion Machine, and that was another great example. That reminds me very much of Tumbleseed, that very colorful art style, quick pick up and play. So I've been playing those two. Snake Pass is another great example of that, right? I love that one.
Did you like Snake Pass?
I thought it was good. I had some difficulties with the controls for sure, and I probably didn't have the patience that I would have liked to have. But I would say that my girls really like playing Snake Pass very often. And I think it's because the snake is kind of cute, right, and kind of approachable, very Pixar-like. So I think that's kind of fun for them. But they'd have difficulty with the controls, kind of getting it back. And I usually they'll get to a stick and be like, "Dad, can you help me climb up it?" So that's a little bit of a challenge for them.
Yeah.
They've really been enjoying and playing Puyo Puyo Tetris, the demo. We haven't bought the game, but the demo, they've been really, and my wife is playing that. So they would set up the Switch upstairs in our room. There's a little ledge by the window. My wife was coming laying in bed on a Saturday morning relaxing. They'd come up, they'd pop it there, give her one Joy-Con, give the other kid a Joy-Con. They'd sit in the bed and play in the morning. So that's been pretty cool. Obviously, Mario Kart 8, been playing that. Again, nothing too shocking for Mario Kart 8, but realizing how much that game is just awesome, right? We knew that before on the Wii U, but we've been having family game nights before the kids go to bed for 45 minutes. Let's play some battle modes and let's play some races, and then we're great, right? And then it's bedtime. So I love the fact that we're all playing that and having a great time. We grabbed some of the wheels, the accessories for that. And that was been really good, but I would say that, man, those things are so small. Massively small, but that's crazy. And then what else have I been playing? And I've been slowly kind of chipping away at Zelda. I have not finished it yet, as I mentioned a couple moments ago, actually in an interview. I've got 3 of the Divine Beasts done, and I have a laundry list of side quests that I'm accomplishing first, and then I'm going to go finish the 4th Divine Beast, and then head to Ganon. And I know you guys have mentioned it, but I love the fact that you can really look at how you want to consume this game, whatever approach you want. Right? I know that you guys have already kind of jumped through, but I feel like between the way that I'm approaching it currently, we've got DLC coming up, Pack 1 and then Pack 2. I kind of feel like this is probably a game, I don't mind playing it for a year. I'll probably still be playing it in a year, picking away at pieces of it, and I'll get to a point where I feel like I want to finish it, right? And I really kind of like that part of like, you decide when you're ready. Am I ready when I'm done 60 shrines and 4 divine beasts and 3 or 4 side missions, or do I want that all done? I'm not going to 100% it, obviously, because I'm not searching for 700 Korak seeds. Like, that ain't going to happen. But it's been
900.
Oh, was it 900?
Yep.
Oh, well, I'm glad, because I would have been like 700. I went 200 more. Screw you, hippie.
I was down for it until he said it was 900 instead of 700.
Then I am out. But yeah, so I mean, that's kind of like I know it's a plethora of things I just threw at you, but I've been, kind of all playing a whole bunch of stuff, but really loving it. I put up some, I know it's kind of weird. It's becoming Justin's Corner right now, apparently. But I did put up a couple of videos on our YouTube channel if you guys want to check out some of the accessories we've been sent recently and that we've reviewed, including Joy-Con grip, the Player Elite backpack, 2 different cases, some earbuds. So I've been trying to kind of keep it involved in the community that way as well. But it's really going great, actually. I'm super, super loving the Switch. Have not really played my 3DS that much. My daughters have been really loving the 3DS. But also, I will tell you this. What's an easy way for your friends or your kids to make friends in a new environment or new neighborhood they move into? The Nintendo Switch.
Really?
Everyone wants to come play the Switch. All the kids want to play the Switch. And I don't know about you guys, but my daughter, I don't know how this happens, but all of a sudden, we'd been here for a couple of days. They'd found some of the neighborhood rascals that are kind of like roaming like a pack of wolves through our neighborhood. They're nice kids, though.
My neighborhood has those, yeah. Yeah,
and I go out to like collect them, and they're like, "Hello, hi, do you have a YouTube channel?" And I was like, yeah, why? They're like, yeah, that's great. And all of a sudden now, like, I think that's what they think I do for a full-time job. So I'm like, yep, I'm going to work. And they're like, are you making more videos? Oh, we saw the video with your daughter. It's amazing. Do you know how many subscribers you have? You have like 750. We're trying to get you more. I've subscribed. Have you watched the video? And I'm like, whoa, lady, girl, what do you want from me right now?
That's amazing.
So best way.
You're basically like the Canadian PewDiePie. Is that kind of like to those?
That's essentially what's going on to them. Yeah, like do you know what your numbers are? Do you know we're getting you more? I watched a video. You're really good. Do you get the games for free? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh boy. So I think these kids actually think that I'm like a YouTube celebrity.
Dude, you need to lean into that, man. That's you need to like. You're like, listen, kids, I know that this is really important to you, but I have this really important conversation right now with with the head of IGN, and it's really important. So
you could totally just say, I'm busy right now. I have to go talk to these guys from America about video games, and they'll be like, oh, whoa, he's so awesome.
So my daughter.
Next thing is collabing with Arlo.
Yeah, so my daughter, my oldest Rylan, she is like, basically I'm pretty sure that like the conversation is Rylan's dad is a video game YouTuber and he works for Nintendo and they have a Switch and it's the coolest thing. And I think that's and I wish I could say I was exaggerating, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly how we got here. So. Yeah, it's quite funny actually.
I would totally lean into that and just string along that story for as long as you possibly can.
The amount of times like the door knocks and someone's like, Mom, they're here. They're wondering if they can come play the Nintendo Switch now. No, go away. It's too nice. Go play outside.
Yeah, so, man,
you can't take the Switch outside.
We've got kids like that in our neighborhood where it's like it seems like I don't know. Maybe every neighborhood has kids like this where it's like it's supper time and like without fail, ding dong. I'm like, what are you doing? We're trying to eat here. Like, don't you have parents? You're 5 years old. Why are you riding your bike around our little complex? Justin, you've seen where we live.
Yeah.
There's some kid in our complex who like is just riding his bike. He's like 5, like his tricycle. Like, can Nate come out and play? It's like, no, he's eating, and then he's going to soccer. Like, come on. Anyways, just reminded me of that ridiculousness.
Yeah. That's a little bit of the ridiculousness that I'm living here. But yeah, it's been really great.
Well, hey man, the Canadian PewDiePie lives on. It's just Madison, minus the anti-Semitism apparently. So
yeah, if we could maybe not make that association, I'd be okay with it.
So in other words, you don't want that as the title of the episode?
No, I do not.
I'm just in the middle of typing that up.
No, I'm sure we could get more SEO and hits on that one, but I don't necessarily know if that's what we're looking for in this crowd right now.
Yeah, may get us flagged by YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Well, Marty, I want to talk about a game that I picked up this week, and I hope that you picked it up too. I don't know if you did or not.
I mean, it's already been all over Twitter that I have. So
yeah. So that, of course, that game is Minecraft for the Switch. I want to tell a little quick story though. When I was doing my master's in, my first master's degree, back in like 2014, and I had to do my thesis and write my thesis. I had Minecraft installed on my computer, and there were a couple of times where I'm like, I'm just going to go to the school and I'm going to write a little bit. And then all of a sudden there's this little Minecraft icon on the bottom corner. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I've been writing for like a good hour and a half. It's like 10 o'clock. This actually happened one time. It was like 10:30, something like that. I'm just going to quickly get into Minecraft. Suddenly I look at my clock and it's 3 a.m. And I'm like, oh, what have I done? Like, terrifying moment. And this happened more than once, but I had this sweet, cool underground dungeon thing, which was amazing. So I didn't feel too bad about it. But that is sort of my history with Minecraft before the Switch. And having this, I don't know if, like, before this, having Breath of the Wild on the Switch, it was like, man, what a cool thing to be able to do that. Having Minecraft on a portable console like the Switch is terrifying to me. I have played probably, I'm going to pull up my parental controls app. I probably have played this game for, I'm going to guess, at least 15 hours since it came out last Thursday. Actually, probably more than that. I'm looking at this here. I'm going to say probably closer to 20. Probably 20 hours since last week, which is a lot of time.
It's definitely not registering on your friends. Your friend.
Well, it doesn't show up. It doesn't show up until you've done like 10 days, right? Because it's on that Friends app, on the Friends log or whatever.
Right.
It only shows up as. It only shows up in, where are we here? I'm going to look it up because I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it says first played 6 days ago.
Yeah, so I don't think it actually shows time played until like probably 10 days goes by or something like that. So I'm interested to see what.
Interesting that also you're online in Minecraft right now.
Am I? Oh, imagine that. Yeah, so I have been digging. Yeah, that's true. I have been found out. And that's the thing is.
Hey, you know what, Zach? It's okay.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. Let's make sure that we're on the same page here.
It's
you
okay.
Also are showing that as well. So let's also online in Minecraft.
I mean,
I'm not in Minecraft because I didn't buy it.
What's Minecraft?
Oh, yeah, you know what Minecraft
Wait, Justin,
is.
have you ever played Minecraft before?
I'm going to be honest. I have never ever played Minecraft my entire life.
Oh my gosh!
And I will say my youngest daughter really wanted Minecraft for the Wii U and did not pick it up. I am thinking strongly about picking it up for her for the Switch. I'm scared of what's going to happen if we do that.
I think honestly, like Minecraft is, well, it's a phenomenon. First of all,
You're a phenomenon.
It's true. I am. I've heard that before. You're not the first person to say that. Believe it or not. I don't know.
With that shirt and everything. Boom.
I'm a big deal on YouTube. I don't know if you've heard, but it's really fun, and it's a really great, like I prefer survival mode, but I have played enough in this game now where I've built a ton of cool stuff in survival mode. Gary Gray, very early, I think it was on Saturday I was playing, and Gary Gray visited my world, and he left this big NDADS sculpture that it still is. I'm going to leave it standing.
I saw
but
that
it's
on Twitter.
Yeah, just off in the distance from my house, you can see this NDADS sort of thing off in the distance, which is really cool. But yeah, it's really, I think that it is a match made in heaven or hell. I don't know which one, but either way, I really, really am liking it. Marty, how are you liking Minecraft? Because you picked it, we pressured you into it, and you did it.
I said last.
Let's identify that took you less than 12 hours.
Yeah, it did. And let's also identify that it's because I'm weak.
Yeah.
No, I will tell you what was kind of the tipping point for me was I guess the idea that, my son does ask me very regularly to play Minecraft with him. And we can play it on the PS4. He has it on the Wii U as well. That's in his playroom upstairs, he and my daughter's playroom. I'm not really on the Wii U, so we're not playing. We can't really play it on PC together. So he wants me to be involved in this. And I thought, if we're just a few weeks ago, I went to the beach, and on the way home from that, he and I actually ended up riding in the back seat of my father-in-law's car. And he was like, "Hey, Dad, you've got the Switch. Let's play Mario Kart." And we lost an hour of that trip playing Mario Kart just with the, Switch propped up on a suitcase in the back or a cooler between us and playing with the Joy-Con. So I'm thinking, if we can have that experience out in public or out as we're traveling around or doing whatever, playing Minecraft, awesome. So I actually, that was really the tipping point for me. What I don't like about this game is the fact that my son already wanted my Switch all the time to begin with, and now he wants it even more. So because he can now play the full console Minecraft, the full experience, not the PE version, like the iOS version or whatever. He can now play regular full console Minecraft anywhere he wants to.
That's terrifying.
And it is terrifying. It's absolutely sucked him in. Like most mornings now, he's peering over the side of the bed or over me in the bed at 6:45 in the morning, whispering, "Can I go play Minecraft?"
You're like, ah!
Yeah. Well, after I have a mini heart attack and stroke, I'm like, "Oh yeah. Just get out of here, kid. Just let me sleep 15 more minutes." And he does. He goes and he plays Minecraft.
As long as he's not opening shower curtains.
If you have seen me online or I've ducked into somebody's world, I think Gary, I went into his world on Minecraft. It's not been me. It's been my son because he's, just been playing on my account. And he loves the fact that he's like, I can have friends and I can go, because he never had anybody on the Wii U version that he could play with. But now, because it's so easy to join and because it's so easy to get, accept a friend request or whatever, just because you've played with a person, he has friends on there now that he plays with, which I think is really cool. And for me as a parent, it's okay knowing that he can't talk to them right now.
Yeah.
There's not a worry about that. Now, when that changes, we'll have to do a little bit of policing with that. But so far, I'm very pleased with it. I know there's been some issues. I actually had issues with it after downloading it.
How so?
It started.
Actually, I have a story. Sorry.
It started pressing my home button without me wanting it to.
Weird. That's bizarre.
Yeah. I noticed, I downloaded it. I guess it came out. Did it come out on Thursday last week? 11th. Yes. Yep. It came out on Thursday. So I downloaded it on Thursday morning, and I, played for a little bit. I had to go to work, and then I played a little bit when I came home. And we were playing a completely different game, Mario Kart, and I put it. I had it out of the dock, and so I put it back in the dock, and I shut it on sleep mode, and it came right back on.
Oh,
and
weird.
I was like, that's weird. Maybe it's not aligned in the dock right. So I picked it up, put it back in, put it in sleep mode. It came right back on. I did it again and again and again, and it would not turn off. And so finally I held down the power button, physically turned off the switch, and then put it in the dock. Then it rebooted, because that's what happens when you put it in the dock, even if it's cold power. And it stopped happening. I pressed the sleep button, it went off. That started happening more and more until Monday night. Monday was my birthday, and my family was over, and we were celebrating and everything, and they wanted to play Jackbox. So we were playing some Jackbox Party Pack, and it starts going to the home screen manually. And I'm like, are y'all pressing buttons? No, we're not pressing the home button. Nothing happened. We couldn't ever figure it out. Finally, I started seeing that people were having the screenshot glitch. And I realized that what was happening on the left Joy-Con was simply happening on the right Joy-Con on mine. And at this time, it wasn't like really out there. Yeah, it was Minecraft. And now Nintendo has acknowledged, in fact, that there is a glitch in the game, and they're working on patching it. But for me, what helped was I deleted the game, didn't delete my saves or anything, just deleted the game and reinstalled it. It worked completely fine after that.
Huh.
It hasn't worked for everybody, but it worked for me.
They also have issued a patch. I don't know if that had anything to do with that either, but they have issued a patch, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, the patch didn't do anything to begin with. Now they're still working on getting a patch for that specific issue.
Okay. I also have another interesting. Well, I'm glad you've got it kind of figured out. I don't know if it's, work in progress, but I had just a little bit of warning. So basically, in this game, there are some skin packs that are included and some that are not included.
Right.
And let me tell you a tale about how you need to know which is which when you select it. Because I was playing through it or whatever, and I was like, oh, this one kind of looks cool. And I selected it and then jumped into my game, and some thing came up, but I was like, oh, whatever, just hit the buttons and keep going. And I spent I kid you not, I spent a good 2 hours like mining out this big underground place. Like I'd gathered enough obsidian to create a nether portal. And so I like dug out this huge cave underground, and it took me like 2 hours to build it, and then to make this portal look ridiculous, like it was the gates of hell and whatever, right? and so I do the whole thing, and then I'm like, oh, that was fun, cool, save it. I'll save it. And it says, oh, you can't save this. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? Why not? Apparently the skin that I was using, it will let you launch your save using any of the skins so that you can preview the skins, but it will not let you save until you own them. And so had spent like 2 hours building this whole thing, and I lost it because I couldn't save. And I tried, like I went into the eShop. I was like, wait, no, I can't lose all of this progress. This sucks. I'll buy the dang skin for $3. I like it anyways. It was like the very simplified plastic one that's like solid.
Oh yeah.
For the most part, it makes mining really easy because things stick out like a sore thumb. And so I was like, okay, well, I went and paid the $3 for it, and in order to get the DLC, you still have to restart the game in order to be able to access it. So I was like, well, crap. So I lost like 2 hours worth.
Let's be honest, though. That's not just a Nintendo Switch problem.
No,
that's just a console Minecraft problem.
They need to be really clear about how you, which ones you are, because I just was hitting buttons trying to get into things. It's like, oh, it let me in. I should be okay. But I didn't realize that it wasn't auto saving. I didn't realize, until much later. And I was like, well, crap. Okay. Well, that sucks. And so they really need to be clear about what you own and what you don't own. And I think that it's deliberately designed that way in order to get you to try and use something and only to realize later, oh, I don't actually have that. Well, I guess I'll buy it then.
Can we just agree that, the Mario pack came out and it was awesome and it was very well done, but it was the end of Wii U life cycle. That's why we didn't get anything else. There's a Zelda pack coming.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Can we just say that it's going to happen?
If they don't do that, then that's a huge missed opportunity.
Because now you've got Minecraft that is going to continue to probably get updates, because it's not really a hard game to update or maintain. It's going to get updates for the life cycle of the entire Switch.
Mm-hmm. When did the purchase of Mojang go over to Microsoft? Was that before or after the announcement for the Switch?
That was way before.
Because I wonder if
Microsoft has owned Minecraft for 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, but I wonder when the deal went through with Nintendo, if it was a Mojang company or a Microsoft company.
Microsoft owned it before the Wii
September 15th of 2014.
Okay.
That's when Microsoft bought Mojang.
In fact, when Microsoft bought it, my first thought was, well, there goes the chances of ever seeing a Nintendo version.
Yeah.
And then we did get a Wii U version.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that actually, I hear what you're saying, Justin. You're saying basically, is this basically, are we still going to get that? But I think Mojang is enough of or Mojang or whatever the heck whatever. I think that they are independent enough from Microsoft. Yes, Microsoft owns them, but it's more of like a studio. And as a studio, they are much like there's some real incentive to go beyond just Xbox.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, so that's the main thing that I've been playing. I guess the only other let me quickly jump into here. Yeah, more Mario Kart is the only other thing I've really been playing. I'm very close to getting the golden cart, which you get for doing gold, getting a gold medal in all the 150cc cups. So, and then I'm gonna maybe try for 200cc, but yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at there. We actually played that as a family, and my wife is not huge into Mario Kart. She's it takes a certain level of Twitch skill sort of stuff that she's not really big into those kinds of games. But we played it and as a family with everybody, and that assisted driving mode, man, is just what a stroke of genius for that game. It really. It gets everybody.
That man a raise. Whoever thought that would get that person a raise.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's about it. What about Marty? Do you have anything else you've been playing?
Just Mario Kart. I mean, I've been trying to get Gold Mario on the 200cc, and I had never played 200cc at all. And I just want to throw my Switch across the room.
Yeah,
like if our patrons in the line chat got to hear a little bit of my frustration last night, playing through the Crossing Cup on 200cc is probably akin to what the 7th level of hell was in Dante's Inferno. It was awful. Baby Park is. Oh my! I can't. I don't know if I've ever here's the deal: we're a family-friendly show, folks, and I'm a minister. I can't tell you the words that I said about Baby Park or thought about Baby Park, because you can be in first the entire time, and then because everyone else is slower than you and you're lapping people, you just get caught up in that nice little 5th place to 9th place tornado of fun that comes from getting better items than the front of the pack.
That's too funny.
And I can't tell you how many times I restarted that. And don't even get me started on freaking Cheese Land. The track that has no curve that is designed for 200cc at all.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
yeah. When you said Cheese Land in the line chat, I asked Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's the Wisconsin track. If that's what Wisconsin's like, then I'll never go. It was awful. So last night, I finally got through it by settling enough for the place that I was in and getting one more point than the person behind me. So, and that's was like, I put it down. I said, it's done. And with that, I'm going to bed. I'm not playing any more Mario Kart tonight. So I have 4 more cups that I have to get through before Gold Mario.
Did you get the gold cup or the gold cart already?
No, I don't have anything golden yet.
Okay.
I think I'm getting close to 2,000 coins. I'm like 40 coins away from 2,000.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not like I've done a couple. I did one of the time trials, and I lost horribly on like the Mario circuit one, and I was just like, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna go play some.
Isn't that the one that gets you like the tires, or is that the parachute or something? I don't know. One of those. One of the coins is either the tires or the parachute, and then the what is it? The time trials is the other, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember which is which.
I think the time trials is the parachute.
Okay.
The mirror mode is the wheels. I may be mixing these up. Mirror mode is the wheels, and that's like, I think you have to 3-star each track or each cup.
Okay.
Or maybe it's just 1 star. And then the gold cart is 5,000 coins. Probably mixing all those up, and yeah, but that's okay. Basically, those are the 3 things you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, I need to drop off as it's getting time for me to start getting ready for work today. But thanks for having me on, guys. And
yeah,
awesome to have you back, Justin.
What is this thing? This going to work business, man?
Yeah, you guys need to go to bed. I need to go to work.
No, yeah, no, that's cool. Right on, man. Are you where are you planning on being on every week? Like, set some expectations for people so that they're not disappointed.
Well, if they're not wanting to be disappointed, they're in the wrong podcast. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll be weekly. It'll be depending on my workload, but it'll probably be definitely more than every 8-week gap. Every couple of weeks is probably what we're looking at, but I'll try as much as I can to be on weekly. There may be some conflicts with other things I have going on, but you'll definitely hear me back on the show more.
Are you going to be around for E3? Like
yes, I am.
I think maybe next time you're on, we'll do the E3 prediction.
Yeah, you're off next week, correct?
Yeah, that next Wednesday is my anniversary.
Okay, so maybe let's do this. Let's go. May 31st is going to be our E3 predictions.
Works for me, man.
So,
I think we may have special guests that day too, so that should be fun.
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good. All right, guys, have a good day. All right, talk to you soon, eh?
All right, take it easy.
Guys. Bye.
He thinks he still runs his show. That's what happened. You see that? Just kidding. Right on. Jesse, what have you been playing, good sir?
Yeah, so I put more time into Persona 5. Almost done with the second dungeon, and so it's kind of it's more of the same of what the first dungeon was. With and I other than you pick up a new member of your party, so the game plays with a party of 4. So now that there's 5 people, I have to pick one person to sit out, which is normal. You know, same thing happened with Persona 3 and 4. Once the party got too big, you have to start choosing who sits out. Then you kind of swap them in and out depending on the weaknesses of the next dungeon, and if you know a boss has like a weakness to ice, then you need to have your ice guy in there and things like that. So I'm still trying to put in a few hours every night if I can into that. I also went back to Zelda Breath of the Wild, working on some of the side quests that I haven't finished yet. I got mainly focusing on the Terrytown arc. I have the Rito who set up shop, and now I'm trying to get I think 50 bundles of wood to get for the next advancement.
Mm-hmm.
And so since I'm focusing on a lot of tree cutting, I'm going through a lot of swords. And at one point, I tried using a flame-based sword, which does not work for wood bundling, because as soon as you cut the tree down, it turns into a fire pit.
May I make a suggestion?
So you can't loot it
for you about your wood bundling.
Sure.
Just use bombs.
Yeah, that's
blow
true.
The trees down.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
because you do cut through. I mean, like you do run through blades very fast doing that. But like a single bomb can blow over, 2 or 3 trees if it's placed right.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. So this, I remember we had a conversation back when we talked about the Zelda DLC, where after you finish the 45-room dungeon, you get an always powered up Master Sword, and then there was debate on, does that mean it won't break anymore, or will it still break? So I did a little experiment, because I was using the Master Sword to cut trees down, because that was the only sword I had left. I got to the point where it told me it was ready to power down. At that point, I found an NPC in Terrytown who says, "Oh, you know those 2 guardians over there? Go kill them for me." So I'm like, okay. So I went over there to the guardians, which then activated the sword. And I'm like, okay, now we'll see if a powered up sword will break or not. And smack, it broke.
Yep.
So
really?
Yep. So I'm still holding on to what I predicted before. Is even if you got the powered up version of the Master Sword that's always at 60, it'll still break, and then you have to wait until it respawns. We'll still find out if I'm right, but that's where I'm going with it.
Very interesting.
Then played more of the Jackbox Party Pack 3 with my family who's in from out of town. As I previously said, my daughter graduated this evening, so and most of the people are heading back to their homes tomorrow. So we got I think 2 evenings where we played with it, and it was fun. It's fun playing it with different groups of people instead of just with the same people over and over again, especially people who aren't normally gamers. So it's new to them. So
right. Yeah.
Actually, we had, they are my wife's dad, who was the first time he played it, he was kind of a little slow on the uptake sometimes on entering in his inputs on his phone, and ended up having a lot of timeouts. And he actually won a game, and we were all surprised.
Nice.
With the murder mystery type of game. So those were the games that I've been played. I wanted to share one more thing. I ordered the Bastop Nintendo Switch dock replacement case. Have you heard of this?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I ordered it from Amazon for $25.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the shell. It doesn't have the electronics inside. So
right, you actually got to tear your own dock.
Yeah,
apart.
you got to dissect your own dock to put everything in this new replacement case. So I've got a little show and tell here, which is the main reason I wanted to get the streaming up before we did the recording. So this will be up on YouTube. So I'm showing the size of the normal Switch dock.
Yeah.
And the next to it is now the mini dock.
For the listeners, basically what it looks like, it actually looks very similar to the Wii U charging dock thing that the tablet came with, that you could charge the tablet separate. That's kind of this. I don't know if in person if that's a fair representation of the size, Jesse. Would you agree with that?
Kind of, yeah. If you're looking at it just from like the front cross section, that's exactly what it looks like. It just has a bigger back end because it has to have room for all the electronics, for HDMI out, the power in, three USB ports. But the important thing is it doesn't hide. It doesn't hide the Switch screen when you put it in. So if you're worried about this dock scratching the screen, this isn't going to do that. And it's also angled, so you can use it as a kickstand replacement by putting the Switch in there and just not plugging it in, and the display will still show up on the screen just like normal, and it works pretty well.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's really small. It took me maybe,
as you were showing pictures of that to us in the line chat, my first thought was, man, that looks just like the Wii U pad dock.
Yeah.
And I mean, have you been pretty pleased with how it's functioned so far?
Yeah, it works exactly the same because it is exactly the same electronics. The only thing that you lose is the LED light. But really, the the LED light was kind of silly because if you see the image on the TV, it's working. If you see the image on the Switch, it's not working. So you really don't need an LED to tell you this.
True. Yeah. So was it like? What about like as far as like? Did it come with good instructions? Is that like that seems to me to be something that is like that is potentially terrifying because if you screw it up, you're screwed. Like is that like
the scariest part is the ribbon that connects the USB-C connector to the rest of the system.
Okay.
Yeah, everything else is pretty much a single unit that you don't take apart.
Those ribbon cables can be terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the case it came in, and on the sticker is a QR code which links you to a YouTube video that walks through the process. So you can watch the video as many times as you want before you're comfortable enough to do it yourself. The video itself is 3 minutes long, and they do use some fast forwarding for when you take out 8 screws. They don't show you that in real time; they speed that up. I think it took me maybe 15 to 20 minutes total to take it apart and put it together again.
I actually replaced my own car battery this week, and that took me like an hour and a half. So, yeah, that's pretty good.
And I am not very proficient in tools. I wouldn't know how to switch the car battery around. So,
it was not that hard.
Yeah.
Actually, surprisingly.
So I managed to do this.
Cool.
I tried once. I had two DS lights that were broken. I wanted to try to take them apart, Frankenstein them together into one working unit. And I ended up with just a pile of parts.
Nice.
I then ended up throwing everything away.
You're just like, dang it.
The shoulder buttons are weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like how this little mini dock turned out. So if you do what there was I forget which website wrote an article about them when Amazon put them up. But the way they made it sound is buy this for about a quarter of the price of a real dock. But then I replied with them with, but you still need a real dock for it to work because it doesn't come with the innards. Yeah,
they have that lock chip. The lock chips, you basically still have to have all the guts.
So all it is the plastic shell. Basically, 2 pieces that'll put together once you put the electronics in place.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Right on, man. Well, anything else as we kind of wrap up here? We got any? Where are we? I don't even know how we're at time wise, but I'm guessing
this segment is about almost 50 minutes. I don't know what the first segment was because I wasn't here for it.
You basically got here at the beginning of it. Anyway,
we actually have a couple of bits of listener mail that we
let's get to
need to take care of real quick.
Let's do it. I will. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. All right. And of course, the listener mail is brought to you by patreon.com/Nintendo Dads for all of your supporting Nintendo Dads needs. I don't know. Anyways, Marty, why don't you go ahead and read our first email?
If you don't mind, let me make a quick patron commercial. Our May patron hangout will be next Wednesday, or when we record the show. We'll do it an hour before we record, which will be 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And we want all of our patrons to be able to come out and hang out with us from the line chat, from everywhere else. And if you would like to do that, we use Google Hangouts, and we just shoot the breeze for an hour before the show. If you'd like to do that, all you have to do is go over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and at least contribute $1 a month, and we'll get you the hookup there and get you into the monthly Patreon hangout, the ability to vote on Retro Rewind and all kinds of good stuff over there.
And if you do want to participate in the hangout, if you are a Firefox user, you'll want to install a separate browser because it does not work with Firefox. Every month I try it and it blows up on me and I'm like, crap. So I end up using Chrome usually when I log in. but other browsers may work as well. It's just the Firefox does not.
Very cool. Right on. Okay, so let's get into some email here. Marty, do we have any copied into the doc, or are we?
Yeah, we actually have a question from our Facebook group.
Let's do it.
Did you know that we had that? Actually, our Facebook page over there from a fan of the show, Bruce Patterson. He's actually asked this question a couple weeks ago, and we're just now getting around it. Sorry, Bruce, but hope you enjoy us answering this. He says, I'm currently playing Ocarina of Time on the Wii U. Which Zelda game is best played on the 3DS compared to playing on the Wii U?
Well, when he says he's playing on the Wii U, I'm presuming he means N64 Virtual Console.
Yes, right? I would assume so as well. So let's think. What Zelda games are on the 3DS that are also available on the Wii U?
Well, they have the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D remakes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There's Link to the Past.
Link to the Past.
Play
the Super Nintendo emulated one.
Right.
Did Phantom Hourglass get put on the Wii U as well?
Yes.
And Spirit Tracks, right? That don't ever play a DS game on the Wii U, by the way.
No.
I agree.
I have Star Fox. What is the DS one? Oh, just don't do it. It's not
Assault.
Star Fox is it's not good. It's not a good idea. I tried. Maybe there's some games that would work, but then you gotta sacrifice your dignity when you do it.
I bought WarioWare Touched on the Wii U when that first came out, and I remember when that was on the DS. I played the hell out of it, and I played it on a live stream, and I pretty much unlocked everything within 2 hours. I'm like, how did I enjoy this game? I don't know.
So
those were simpler times, Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is,
back when my kids were in kindergarten.
Yeah. The question is, what is the best? The better on the 3DS? Is that the question?
Which Zelda game is best played on the 3DS compared to playing on the Wii U?
Oh, I would for sure say
we've got
Time and
Zelda 2, Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and the 2 Phantom Hourglass Spirit Tracks.
Well, I think Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, you can't really, unless you have a hard copy, right? And you're playing a DS game on a 3DS, then you could play that on the 3DS. I think, and I think that would be better on the 3DS or the DS, like on the handheld. The Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, I would say the remakes look way better than the 64 ports.
I bought Majora's Mask like 3 or 4 times, or at least I bought it 2 or 3 times. I had the original game. I bought it on Wii Virtual Console, and over the years tried to play it 3 or 4 times. Never could get into it, and it wasn't until it came out on the 3DS where I actually could play it well to the point where I did 100% that game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my answer probably would be Majora's Mask.
I think for me, my answer is going to be Ocarina of Time. There's hands down, the 3DS version is the definitive version of that game, unless they make some crazy HD remake, mainly because of the graphical upgrades, but also the fact that they fixed the water temple to where it's actually playable.
But really, other than those 2 games, any game that exists on both are pretty much just Virtual Console and is the same game anyway. It's just a matter of preference at that point.
I think maybe the nature of the question, and maybe I don't want to miss this, but I think maybe the nature of the question is, which one is it better to play portable? Because the Wii U is not entirely portable. Yeah, I mean, it's the same version of the game, but would you rather play it on the go, or would you rather play it sitting in front of your TV?
Well, y'all know my answer to that.
Yeah, I played
Majora?
Yeah. I played Majora on the 3DS. I actually was in a very similar place to you, Jesse, where it was very much I haven't. The Switch is finally the kind of system that I've needed in my life all along, I guess is how I'll say it, is that I've always been interested in playing console games, but I am much more drawn to the handheld form factor. And so I am a lot happier anytime I can play a game on a handheld instead of on a console. That is what I'll lean towards, unless it is like playing Spirit Tracks on the Wii U, where what are you doing? That's just nonsense. So that's like the DS ports onto the Wii U. Just don't do that. Other than that, pick your form factor of choice.
Those aren't the games in particular. That's just the general concept was flawed.
Yeah, but I think
TS games on a Wii U.
And I think that Majora's Mask in particular, they really did some great work in making that game more handheld friendly. And it just, because of the 3-day structure of that game really lends itself to being on a handheld. I really like that game a lot. So I would go with Majora's Mask if you're looking for a very definitive, a single recommendation, I guess. So right on. Anything?
We have a question on our email.
Yeah, I got one from Michael. Is that
Michael Mancher?
Sure, yeah, I can read this one.
Okay, good.
He says, "Hey, Dads, I'm listening to the new episode with Jacob from Nintendo Nostalgia on, and it got me thinking. Do you think people will still have the same nostalgia for PlayStation and Xbox systems / games like Nintendo tends to get? I know you're all biased, but the way many games on other systems seem to just crank out serialized shooters and sports games makes it so boring. I don't know what other systems you guys have, but nothing will beat the bright colors and new bold directions Nintendo always goes in. Thanks," Michael sent from his iPhone, apparently. So, first off, thanks, Michael, for your email. I will say this as and I want to get your guys' take too, but some of my best video game memories in high school were playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City on the PlayStation 2 at my friend's house. He had this, like, his bedroom, like, up in the loft of his house. He had like a couch in his bedroom. He had this huge bedroom and a couch in his bedroom with his PlayStation 2, like, right there. And we would spend, I kid you not, we probably spent, like, I don't even know, a really big chunk of the summer one year playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And we would literally just pass the controller of, like, all right, man, we're not playing the story. Just see what kind of ridiculous stuff you can do and how long you can survive until the cops kill you. And that was me. And so we just drive around the city and do crazy stuff like that. I honestly think that as much as we love Nintendo, other people might like other stuff. And some of the greatest nostalgia that we have, at least this is my experience, the nostalgia that I have for specific games is more tied to who I played it with and what was going on in my life at the time than the actual game itself. I think that the game is a big part of that, but I think that how much I feel nostalgia for different things is so tied to what's going on in my life and who I'm playing games with and stuff like that. So I don't know. What do you think, Marty? Where's your head at with that?
I just and I know people are going to agree with me, but or going to disagree with me on this is what I meant to say, that I just don't see the collectible market for the original Xbox like there is for, like, the original Nintendo. Yeah. And I get that there's, like, a lot of collateral there that's been built up over the years because Nintendo kind of got a running start or whatever. But there's just something about Nintendo's devices to me that's always, like, even before I would admit that I was, like, a Nintendo fanboy and I just had every system that came out, or whatever. Like, before I would even admit to myself I preferred Nintendo, there was always something about their devices that was inherently collectible. That made me feel like this is something I want to hold on to for a while. And even more so as an adult now, like as I'm introducing my kids to video games and they're playing the classics, like there's this yearning for me. Like, I want you to be able to play Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo with that controller the first time. And I think that's what a lot of people felt about the NES Classic too. And I think that's why so many people got frustrated with that when they couldn't find it, because they wanted to experience those games, if I can, turn a phrase here, the way God intended them to.
Yeah.
Like that controller with that console with that time, even though it was a miniature replica of it, there was even with the NES Classic, there's an inherent collectability of that. Like to be able to say, hey, I got one. That's why Nintendo does all the crazy colors of the 3DS, because they know there's some sucker out there who's going to buy every one of them.
And they've just those newly announced green and pink Splatoon Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Josh called them the watermelon colors.
Oh, totally, man.
Yeah, they're watermelon Joy-Cons. So, and that's the thing. Like, there are going to be people out there who already, 3 or 4 months into the Nintendo Switch lifespan, own a gray set of Joy-Cons, the original neon set of Joy-Cons, the new neon set of Joy-Cons, the yellow neon Joy-Cons, and now the Splatoon Joy-Cons. So there's this inherent collectability about Nintendo. I don't see that with PlayStation. Like, I don't go to the store and look at the myriad of options of like DualShock 4 controllers and go, man, I just got to have all of those. But I do that a lot of times with Nintendo stuff. And I don't know if it's like primarily like, there's no reason for the PlayStation to have like a golden controller, even though I have a golden PS4 controller, and a blue one or a black one. Like, there's nothing that really ties those to a game, but Nintendo always likes to tie their peripherals and everything back into a game. That's what made those like Mario Wii remotes so cool, and now the Splatoon Joy-Con and the other things. Like, it all ties together and it makes it inherently more desirable. And
yeah.
Maybe it's arrogant to say, but no, I just don't see that 20, 25, 30 years from now, people being like, man, you know what was awesome? Look at my Xbox collection.
Well, then at the same time though, like I know they do release like the Halo, like you can get here's the new Halo game and it comes with this like Master Chief helmet and all that crap, right? Or like here's a functioning pair of night vision goggles for this Call of Duty game or something. But I hear what you're saying though, that there is
Fallout 4,
the Pip-Boy thing. Yeah, that's a good example too. But I think that Nintendo just, there's something about the actual hardware itself, right? Whereas like in order to be collectible and have that nostalgia there, it's almost like it's a more naturally developed nostalgia with Nintendo, whereas with PlayStation and Xbox, it's much more like forced and manufactured, like specifically with collector's editions and stuff like that. No, yeah, for sure, I hear what you're saying.
Another problem with pretty much the PS4, Xbox Prime, and GameCube generation is pretty much the last generation where this isn't a problem, but maybe the Wii I guess is wouldn't really have this problem, but the systems after that, how many of those games have patches? That most of them. So 30 years in the future when these services aren't on, you can still put the disc in and play it, but you're going to be playing the crap version because that can't be patched anymore. Mm-hmm. So I think those will be just innately less desirable than.
It's a really interesting point. Yeah.
Than what is currently collectible nowadays. I know there's a lot of Facebook groups out there that deal with collecting of legacy hardware and games, in television, ColecoVision, Atari, NES, Super Nintendo, things like that.
Absolutely. Right.
Well, I just think, you look at it like those are ecosystems of hardware, and that's what happens when you build a platform around the always on, always connected. For a lot of games, what happens when the always on, always connected network goes down because it's a legacy.
Yeah, we've already seen that with Wi-Fi Connect, and that's been down now 3 years.
Yep. And those games, there's parts of them that people will never be able to get to again.
Yeah, a few years ago, I tried playing Dragon Quest IX again, and a good chunk of that game is behind unlockables over the network, which are no longer unlockable.
Mm-hmm. And unless they do like some weird thing, like patch in a code for that, where it unlocks without you having to go online, the game's DOA from that point forward. And that raises some really interesting, what ifs, but you don't run into that with the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the N64, even the GameCube. Even though it's disc-based media and different things like that, you don't run into those things. So I think that's why the market is there, even for systems that aren't Nintendo. Like I would say that, and I know we're wading a little deep here, but I would say that like a system like the TurboGrafx 16 is inherently more collectible than the Xbox.
I would, because the medium used to deliver the games is very unique with that system.
It is, but I mean, even if it wasn't, I think that there's something about it that would be more desirable, because you've got. I mean, it was a limited. We won't call it a limited run, but you get what I'm saying. Like it wasn't a widespread console or widespread popularity as far as what we consider widespread popularity, but I had one, and I wish that I still had it. I wish that I was still able to play those games that way. But you like with that one, you don't have to worry about the network's going to be down. I'm not going to be able to play Bonk because I can't sign in or whatever. I'm not going to be able to play Keith Courage and the Alpha Zones because the thing's down.
I don't know if you remember. I think it was 6 years ago now. When Sony online network got hacked, and so they shut down PSN for I think it was almost 3 weeks.
Oh yeah,
so
right at Christmas.
No, it was in April, because it was like a week after Portal 2 came out.
It was because it was kind of coming up on E3, or they apologized for it at E3.
Yeah, so they ended up even EverQuest was taken down because division of Sony ran it at that time, which that bummed my wife out because that's her favorite game. She still plays it. But in any game bought digitally, when you launch it, phone's home to see if you still have the rights to it. With the network down, you couldn't play those games.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Even if it pissed a lot of people off.
So that'll be an interesting thing. But yeah, to get back to the question, I think I still, having said all that, I think there are some things about Nintendo that make it inherently more that lend itself to nostalgia more. But I think that if my theory of nostalgia is correct, which who knows, I would say that nostalgia can be is more. I would say that it would be just as equally important of who you're playing it with as it is what you're playing, right? And it doesn't necessarily matter what you're playing, as long as you're playing with people that you care about and are important to you, and you're making those meaningful memories too. So I would guess that both of those are equally important. So so that's that. Anything else? We're running up on this. This may be the longest show we've ever had. I don't know. It's possible.
Are we gonna do that segment I suggested, or not yet?
I want. Where are we here? I think for the sake of time, we're gonna push it.
Well, we're not gonna do it this week because we have. If we're gonna do it next week, we want to announce it this week to give people time to prepare.
Yeah, sure. So here, let me play you an announcement, sort of bumper thing, where
Wobble Puffet.
Here.
Wobble Puffet. Wobble Buffet.
There we go. Okay, that works.
Okay, so I had the idea a few weeks ago, back when the Super Nintendo Classic was rumored to be a thing. I thought I had an idea. Let's come up with our own list of what we want in it. So the four of us will come up with 10 games that we'd like to see in this thing, and then the patrons and listeners and others on the podcast on YouTube, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, email us, comment in a video. Get our attention somehow on your list of games you'd like to see added, and then we'll kind of consolidate the list. Add up the highest points. So like if all four of us say Earthbound, which probably will, then that gets 4 votes, and other people who mention it from the listener pool can add it. So there'll be like a tally vote, and we'll eventually get a list of at least 30 games that we'd like to see in this thing. and then we can outline the results in next week's or in a future week's show.
Very cool. I like it. Very awesome. Cool. So absolutely everybody, let us know. You can email us nintendodads@gmail.com, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. So very cool. All right, as we round out the show here, gentle folks, let's take a quick gander at gander? Sure. At what we've got coming up over the next few weeks. Retro Rewind reminder, Super Mario World is our next Retro Rewind game. We're probably going to record that episode in the next couple of weeks here. As well, we're probably going to do, I don't know, I would like to do a Guardians After Dark episode at some point as well, but we'll have to.
Jesse just has to go see it.
Have you not seen?
I saw it once, but I would.
No. I'm sorry. Justin just has to go see it.
Yeah,
right. Justin's got to go see it.
But I would. I normally like to watch a movie twice before I talk about it publicly like this. So I still want to see it again. And I don't think my kids have seen it yet either. They all want to.
Well, there you go. You have to do your fatherly duty because
I was going to do it on the opening weekend, but they all said I plan on watching this with my friends this weekend, and no one did.
Well, I think this is the kind of that movie more than anything else is a movie you watch with your father. I think that's just the way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right, that's a watch this movie with dad sort of movie. So
and then when you're done, then you go out and play ball.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Right on. Very cool. So that's about all we've got. It's too bad Justin couldn't stick around, but he's apparently got a job now. Well, I guess he had a job before. You don't move halfway across the world and then work from home, I guess is how that works. So that's the end of the show, gents. Thanks for being on. Anything else before we wrap up? No.
I don't think so.
Perfect. All right. Well, you can follow us, everybody, on all of the social medias on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Nintendo Dads. You can email us, nintendodads@gmail.com, if you want to watch the videos that we have. Go to Twitch or YouTube and look for Nintendo Dads. You'll find us there. Call in and leave us a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. If you want to buy some Nintendo Dads merch, go to tiny.cc/Nintendo Dads store. Big thanks to OC Remix for our music throughout the show, as well as to Carter Johnson and Adam Leonard from Megadads for their amazing artwork. And of course, if you want to change the world, go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. Written reviews are even better. No 1-star reviews, please. No 1-star reviews. Well, if you have to do that, that's fine. But for the most part, 5-star reviews are great. Written reviews are even better. And of course, if you want to subscribe and stay in with all of everything we're doing, you can subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and of course, VGTribune.com. For me, for Justin, for Jesse, for Marty, and for the world. I don't know what that means. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Wobble Buffett?